It's Coach Mo Fall here. How are you this very day for Coach Mo Live? We're starting off another week with new celebrations from some of our clients who are rocking it. And I love, love, love celebrating with them. And if you're one of my clients who is listening in, please comment below and let us know. This is Career Coach Mo Fall. I am a healthcare executive turned career coach who helps thousands of women up-level their souls to up-level their careers. You know, there's a missing piece in most women's power, and that power comes from your soul. I'm coming to you live from my office where I have this beautiful blue backdrop wall. Like it? Got my telescope there. Wait. Which way? Telescope. Shh. That way I can see far into the future and I know exactly what's going to happen with certain career moves. I know it's pretty cool to have a telescope, and I also have a crystal ball. How do I know how things are going to go in a woman's career? Because I have been there, and all of my clients have been there too. And there's many things that I know from my kick-ass career. I up-leveled myself through layoffs, firings, downsizings, reorganizations, and literally slogged my way through an awesome, awesome career. All the things I learned over 30 years of being a professional woman, an executive woman, I bring to my clients each and every single day. And I know that the missing piece for you is your soul. You don't have to take my word for it. Just check me out at mofall.com and click on the success story or client tab, and you will see many of our clients who are talking about having brand new careers and lives because they brought their soul back in its power. Listen, I know that you might think that not having the right strategy or not being able to speak up in meetings is the problem, but it is actually a deeper issue than that. Your ability to show up as a powerful, powerful woman has its roots in your soul's power. And I'm talking about it from an absolute human being, human soul perspective. Powerful people are congruent with their soul's energy. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that women make, is that they work hard. They normalize being bullied or taken advantage of or marginalized. Yes, we normalize that, ladies, because we were told as young girls to just take whatever we got, play small so people don't get offended by us, etc. In my 30-year career and with my 1,000+ clients I have helped, I know that one thing that we are going to talk about today that is demanding a raise can go so off and so wrong. You know, here's the thing. Most women are underpaid. Most women are underpaid. I don't need to be the only one telling you that. There's hundreds and hundreds of research studies done by all of the large organizations around the globe talking about how women are getting 78 to 81 cents on the dollar compared to men's earnings. Why is that? Well, it happens for a lot of reasons, but mostly because women tend to be more modest, more polite, don't know how to ask for things, and undervalue their worth. Now, men are brought up differently. I know, shocker, you all know that. It is that reason why so many women are underplaying their value in the workplace. And then you get so fed up that you demand things where it's coming out of the blue because you've put up with things for so long. You've been overworked. You've been taking on 3 or 4 people's roles because you were convinced at some point by someone, boss up, that they needed you to do that, that they really need you to step up, that that person's role isn't really as significant, and could you just do that job also? And then you get so fed up from being taken advantage of and overworked that you get to the point that emotionally you're in a situation where you're demanding a raise. Now, this doesn't usually go over well because in your workplace, you have accepted a lesser situation. You have accepted. Oh, hang on 1 second. You've accepted that issue being okay. And then all of a sudden, one day, you decide it's not okay. Now, that's going to come out of the blue for your supervisor or bosses, etc. And they're going to be like, what happened, Sally? You were okay with this for the past 5 years. All of a sudden, now you're demanding something. And they're going to get back on their heels. They may give you some money. They may. I talk to women on clarity calls. By the way, that's mofall.com/strategy. Let's get that strategy going. Or it's mofall.com/live clarity. And here's what happens. You change the rules instantaneously in an emotional fit, and you are not going to get the result that you want. And talking to women that we talk to on our clarity calls, knowing how this has gone for me and knowing how it's gone for thousands of clients we've worked with, demanding something and having a personality shift. When you have agreed to the terms of being taken advantage of and being overworked, and all of a sudden you're not, doesn't go over well. And here's the thing, you don't have the power base. So when you demand a raise, you don't have the power base to truly, really get it. You might feel overworked and taken advantage of and feel like you deserve a raise. I understand that. But you don't have the power base in order to get up-leveled, in order to really get that raise. And they may throw money at you just to keep you in your corner and keep you doing what you've been doing. But if you don't bring your soul back to life, if you don't bring your power fully through, you're not really having the result that you wanted. So a lot of women I talk to on these clarity calls, they've been working in the same company or the same job for years and years, and they went into the boss's office and demanded a raise and got like $5,000 or $10,000 of shut up money. Let's call it what it is. It's not really a raise. No. A raise comes from being recognized for a job well done and being paid for that. When you demand a raise, you're basically getting shut up money. And you might be getting temporary shut up money while they find someone who's not going to demand things because they liked you just the way you were, sitting in your corner, doing your work, overdoing it, being perfect at everything, and not really causing too many problems. So most women are overworked, have way too much responsibility and not the pay, are underemployed for what they bring to the table, whether that be education, expertise, or experience. And when you are underpaid and underappreciated and you demand something, it doesn't really fly. It's sort of like your 16-year-old son asking for the keys to do a cross-country trip. The keys to the car, 16, cross-country trip, no. But your son's like demanding it. I know how to drive. I have my learner's permit. Gosh darn it. It's just not going to fly. And when you're seen as someone at your workplace who is going to overwork, overdo, and do what you're told, and then all of a sudden you change the rules on that, you're no longer in the zone of we like her just the way we've put her. I'm telling you, ladies, I see this all the time. And you get stuck into a corner and they're not appreciative of you demanding anything. Now, from time to time, again, they'll throw you some hush money. They will. They'll throw you some hush money. It's not what a raise could be, and it's certainly not in consideration of all the great work you've done, even though they might sort of say that, but you know they don't really mean it. What they're really saying to you is, why did you have to get unruly? Why couldn't you just keep doing what you've been doing for so many years and playing by that rule? Here's the thing. We've helped so many women in our Kick-Ass Career Workshop. Over 12 weeks, we help women up level into a more powerful version of themselves. So what ends up happening when you bring your soul back to life? You begin to change as a human being. And we've been able to help women and coach women into their power first, into a real position of clarity about what they bring to the table, and a real position of strategy and tactics, so that the technique is so different than demanding a raise. When your technique is proper and right, when your power is aligned with that, and when you are fully aligned from the soul level, from your absolute purpose and your contributions and your talents, when you're lined up with all of that, the ask for a raise just goes so different. And you're literally asking for a raise instead of demanding more money. Because demanding a raise is really demanding more money. It's demanding to be compensated in some way for sticking around so long, being taken advantage of. That's why I call it like shut up money. Because that's really what's going on. Now, when you get your power back, when you bring your soul back to life, we call it bring your soul to work. When you play it that way, and you have great strategies, and you have experts guiding you and helping you say the right things, say it at the right time, and also do the right things ahead of time. It's just not about the ask. There's all sorts of groundwork and there's all sorts of things to do in order to make that the right time for the right ask. And then, of course, there's the proper ask. And then, of course, there's the situation where moving on may actually do you better. And sometimes when you're so entrenched in a particular way of being viewed at a workplace, they're not going to change their view of you. Now, it's hard for us to tell this at the get-go, but we can absolutely tell whether women should leave their jobs or there's room for them to make the advances, promotions, raises, put on special projects, transfer department that fits them better. We can absolutely tell based on our knowing of each and every client as they come through what the best move is for them. So if you're in a company for a while and you haven't moved up, you haven't gotten a promotion in 2 to 3 years. Now you're like, 2 to 3 years? Who gets promoted that fast? Kick-ass women do. Okay? That's what goes on there. You may be lingering longer and they're telling you, oh, 10 years in this role, then you'll be ready for promotion. That's hogwash. And that's coaching jargon for a load of crapola. There is no reason to have 10 years of experience before promotion. Matter of fact, 5 is even a long time. When you study, like I have, the successful people and what they've done, and I had a very successful career. I moved up and I moved on every 3 years or so. My longest job was 5 years anywhere. And I moved up twice in that role. And frankly, in many situations, I wasn't able to move up in that same organization because, like many women, they had me sort of plugged into this role. And changing the game so that they would see me differently was just not possible in those organizations. And the second to the last job I had, I really thought I was going to be there for a while and make the promotions and move up. And it just didn't happen fast enough. And as a matter of fact, one of our competitors reached out via a recruiter and interviewed me for an awesome job. And that was my last job in corporate America. And it was an awesome job. And I was very successful in it. And I brought a lot of people over from that previous employer. I know they're still smarting about it. What can I say? All right, there was some awesome talent there. And so what happens when we demand anything, but demanding a raise just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If you're coming from a place of weakness, if you're coming from a place of being taken advantage of, if you're coming from a place of frustration and you are depleted and overspent energetically, you're not going to get what you want. Again, you might get some money, but it's not going to feel great because you haven't done it the way that is empowering. You've done it the way that is disempowering. And your employer is going to feel it too, and they're not going to like it too much. So when you do things the proper way with your soul's power, with your absolute alignment with who you are and how you are, and you know how to go about it, which involves making the right ask at the right time, using proper words, using certain ways to navigate the situation, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. You have 100% authority and 100% freedom in deciding where you want to work and for how much. And when I hear women rationalize, well, I've stayed here because, I get health insurance. That's not the only job that offers health insurance. I'll guarantee you that. Well, I've stayed here because, I can take my kids to their soccer games and the dentist. That's not the only job that you're going to be able to do that. So human beings, let me just give you a tip. Human beings have this massive ability to normalize things that are no good. Just take a look around you. People normalize driving a car that can barely run. They normalize being in relationships that aren't working for them. We normalize not being healthy. We normalize going to work and not really enjoying it because so many people in our lives have said, yeah, it's work, it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be difficult, it's not vacation. And, that's why they call it work. And there's all these like cliches about how work is supposed to be hard. I'm going to tell you a little tip that I learned along the way of my personal journey as an executive. When you are in your soul's power, work is fun. Work is in your genius zone, and work is paying you well. That's what that looks like. And I actually wasn't sure if my formula would work for others until I tried it out 7 years ago on others and their careers and their jobs and their contribution in the world, their influence, their impact increased, and so did their pay. I'm no longer trying to see if this works. The formula that I use and that my team of experts help our clients through works like a charm. I feel like I have a secret weapon in the world and no one else knows what it is except my clients. If you want to talk to us and see whether your career could go through the same expert lift, all you have to do is book a clarity call with us. It's mofall.com/live clarity. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to help you uncover what's really going on, and we're going to help you get to the truth. You don't want a coach who's going to tell you the answers you want. You want a coach who's going to help you see the truth. And then if we can help you, we can't help everyone, and not everyone is helpable. That's that tricky little thing called, do you really want the help or do you want to just talk about it? That's okay. It's okay wherever you're at. But for those women who are really ready to dive in, claim their truth, and get to work at it because their life is precious, they know that their career is their biggest investment ever. You will never make more money on anything else in life than you will in working at the level that you are capable of. Let's do a little bit of math here, because when you demand a raise, you see, you're thinking of some math. You're thinking, well, if I made another $10,000, that would be awesome, and that would make me feel better about overworking. $10,000 doesn't pay for the overworking. If you're actually working 10 hours more overtime in a year, let's just call that 50 weeks, which is 500 hours. That $10,000 is $20 an hour. Now, You may not make $20 an hour, and that's okay. But for the professional women who I'm talking to, where you're making 75,000, 150,000, 200,000, $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year, for the professional women we work with, so 75K plus, 6 figures plus, mid 400s, $10,000 is not equivalent to what you're making. If you make $75,000 a year, you're making slightly under $40 an hour if you boil that down to 2,000 hours worked per year. Okay? I'm really good with math, and I've been doing things with compensation, hourly and salary amounts for years. I'm quite an expert at it, as a matter of fact. So if you're making $100,000 a year, it's about $50 an hour. So if they throw an extra 10,000 at you, they just devalued all of the work that you do extra. And if you're asking for it because you're working extra, you have an hourly mindset, and that doesn't cut it if you're a college educated professional woman. You cannot have an hourly mindset. You'll get yourself spinning in so many different directions around hourly work and whether it's worth it for you to do over and this and that, and should I work this and that. If you're in that calculation, you're spinning your wheels. And if you're demanding a raise based on the hours worked, again, you're an hourly worker. No offense to hourly workers, but I would say 95+% of the women we work with are not hourly workers. Although we do work with some nurses, some physicians actually work shift work. So we do see that from time to time, but still not a professional mentality. If you're a professional woman with education, expertise, and experience, you're working for a salary. Even if you're paid hourly, you're really working for a salary. I know that might sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but I'm not. So if you're a professional woman, even if you get paid hourly, you're actually working for the amount of money that you're making on an annual basis. I call that salary. And here's the thing. If you are bargaining and demanding a raise based on hours worked, you have an hourly mentality, not a professional mentality, and you need to make that shift. If you're demanding more pay because you're being overlooked, you're working too many departments, and you've been pigeonholed, demanding a raise is not going to work. You have to get into full alignment with your power and your soul, same thing, and in full alignment with what you bring to the table and why, and not bargain or demand on it based on hours worked. It's not the playing field that you're on anymore. If you're a professional woman with college education in a professional field of endeavor, even executive assistants, admin assistants, things like that, we work with these gals all the time. If you're providing value to your organization and you're paid a salary, you cannot look at it as hours worked. Now, you may be thinking of it hours worked because you're working more hours, and ergo problem. Okay. So these are the things that need to be considered. I don't want you falling into the trap of demanding a raise for something that is going to go the wrong direction for you. And demanding a raise for working too much or having too many departments is basically demanding money for hours worked. There's a much better way. There's a much more successful way. There's a much better route to go when you're a professional woman. And I would love to help describe that for you in detail and actually work with you to help you execute on that. Let's do some more math, okay? Let's say you, like many of our clients, get into our workshop and you make a $30,000 to $50,000 increase in your current salary. We've helped some women over the last couple of months actually make way more than that job over job. But let's just hit on the 50K increase, because that's a pretty good sweet spot. Most women are underpaid by about that much money when you look at education, expertise, and experience with where they're at title-wise and money. 50,000 is pretty normal for the women we speak to. If you're 45 years old and have 20 more years to work to 65, although most of us in this generation will be working to 70, but the math works just a little bit easier, saying we have 20 more years. So if you're 45 years old, you're making 125, but you should be making 175. And you've got 20 more years to work. If you have no other increase other than that $50,000 that we get you, we help you get it. 50,000 times 20 years. Go ahead, do the math. It's really fun. It's $1 million. You can think about that for just a second. $1 million difference in earning. When you move into a strategy for successfully landing a job that you're fit for, let's just say it's 30,000. That's still $600,000 of extra earnings. Could you use that in your 401k? Could you use that to pay down your mortgage so when you retire, you don't have a mortgage? Of course. So if you're 45 and have 20 more years to work, do the math on what you're missing out on. Go backwards. So from 35 to 45, were you making $30,000 or $50,000 less over those 10 years? Ouch. 300 to 500K less. So you see how demanding a raise and just getting some shut up money just doesn't cut it. It just doesn't. It's an inadequate amount of money to pay you for the value you bring to the table. But you may be in a situation where that's all you're going to get. And demanding a raise is not the way to go. We can help you sort all of this out on a clarity call. We offer complimentary career clarity calls. mofall.com/live clarity. We'll get you booked with one of my awesome career breakthrough strategists. And we will talk with you. We will about what's going on with your current career situation and help look at some trends or some patterns that have developed over the years. And if we can help you, if you're ready to get coached, if you're ready to lean into experts, if you're ready to be decisive and just lean in and make yourself a priority so you can fix this problem, we may be able to work with you and help you. But we'll be able to tell you that for sure on our live clarity call. It is mofall.com/live clarity call. Now let's sum up where we've been today. Number one, if you're overworked, frustrated, and depleted, you're probably feeling like you want to march into your boss's office and demand a raise. More than likely, if you get some money out of that demand, it's basically shut up money. And they're shoving you aside. And they're also going to look at you differently. And they're going to treat you differently. That is not a true raise. It's not. Again, I call it shut up money. I've done it myself. When I was an executive, if someone would march into my office and demand more money, I might give them a little bit more, but I was not happy about it. I did not feel empowered. And I felt that that employee was being short-sighted, emotional, out of control, and not someone I wanted to make a long-term player, even if they were in a great spot. So it's just a lose-lose scenario for you to demand a raise. What's a winning strategy is to get your soul power lined up with your natural gifts and talents, lined up with what you've brought to the table, and at the right time for your employer, at the right time, to make an absolute legitimate request for consideration for promotion and a raise. There's ways to do this right, and there are ways to do it wrong. Most of the women we talk to on the clarity calls have done it the wrong way, and now they're either further pushed in the corner and marginalized or further depleted and feeling basically like a bit of a loser. I don't want you feeling that way. Please, I don't really want you feeling that way. You're a human being with a great, great contribution to give in the world, a great contribution to give the right company. How about if we sort it out together on a complimentary career clarity call, mofall.com/live clarity? Because demanding a raise will not get you what you want. Exercising your truth and your power in your soul and having a great strategy and having experts lay out the roadmap is how you get what you want. Demanding that raise is going to marginalize you further and get you a little bit of shut up money. When you up level your soul and yourself, then you will be in a position to get a true promotion, to get a true raise, and to actually be the owner of your worth. That's where good stuff happens. And we see it all the time. I want to say a shout out and a congratulations to Paula on your next dream job. Yep, it's the third one in 3 years. I love how you roll, Paula. We really enjoyed working with you when you originally joined the workshop, and we love continuing to watch you soar and lean into the expertise so you can continue to rise up, being paid above a number that you dreamt of years ago. Awesome work. And to Laura, new CFO at a great company, you leaned into the expertise, you followed the program, you did what we lay out for you, and you just kept on owning your worth. And to Deidre, rock on with that new job. To Alessandra, bravo, congratulations. To Jennifer, bravo, congratulations. And who am I missing? If you are one of my clients who have recently landed a dream job, a raise, a promotion, let us know. We love celebrating our clients. And to all of those women who are recent graduates of our 12-week Kick-Ass workshop, bravo to you ladies for leaning in and owning your truth. Gwen and Dolores, and I know I'm going to be missing some gals, but you know who you are. Bravo to you. Bravo to the work that you've done to up-level your soul so that you can feel better as a human being. And then you're in a rock star place to get that promotion, that raise, that new job, that dream job with that dream company. So many of our clients talk about how they didn't even know that they could be in a company that was so awesome and so beautiful. And to Lisa, who I just talked to last week, she's in her brand new job of 3 weeks, and she can't believe how awesome it is and how well they're taking care of her and her employees. She's a new HR director and really, really owning strategy and helping that company grow. Ladies, I couldn't be happier or more proud of who you've become once you learned how to bring your soul back to life and bring your soul to work. And landing that dream job is a sweet, sweet situation. And so many of you with promotions and advances and shifts into better departments that fit you better. It's so awesome. And it's really, really wonderful to work with each and every one of you. And our grad group is thriving. Hey, I'm going to do a shout out. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee later this week, visiting with some of our kick-ass grads. Can't wait to see you ladies there. And if you don't know my work, check it out, mofall.com. If you would like to learn about our 5 steps that we help our clients move through. It's mofall.com/masterclass. And you can hear all about the 5 shifts that we take our clients through if you're ready to get into it with one of my career breakthrough strategists. Book yourself a complimentary career clarity call. Let's dive in and see what's really going on. It's mofall.com/live clarity. We'll see you next time on Coach Mo Live. This is Coach Mo, your kick-ass career coach. I've gone from an executive who made it happen for her career to a coach who makes it happen for your career. It's awesome watching you soar. Ladies, shout out to all of you awesome kick-ass gals and our badass gals. We'll see you next time on Coach Mo Live, mofall.com, and everywhere on social media at Coach Mo.